Yeah, got it, got it. Series, what is that? User details, right? It's implementing user details, and it's user details implementing what? Users class. Come on, friends. Everything is
Yes,
clear,
Ravi. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so here what is that? This is the user class is there, right? We need to convert this one in a user class, right? After then we will call that, right? We will call what? This method, this constructor, right? This constructor is taking username, password, and a collection of what? Collection is nothing but set of what? Authority. Set of what? Authority. It's need what? Set of authority is nothing but what is that? Granted authority, right? What it's a need? Set of granted authority is nothing but what? After then it will return what is that? Authorities only, right? It will return authorities only. Granted is authority means what? Just assume that, right? Just I took, right? What? Sandeep, right? Sandeep I took, right? And Sandeep, how many authority we given? Means authority is nothing but role. In our terminology, role. Authority is nothing but what, friends? Role only, right? He's having what is that? Admin and a manager, right? Come on,
Yeah,
people.
Ravi.
He's having what is that? Admin and a manager now. Okay, good.
Manager.
Yeah. So after then what? After taking this model class, right? After taking this model class, what we need to do? What we need to do? We need to convert this model class in our what is that? Spring user, right? Spring user class, right? Spring user class. Spring security user class. This we need to convert in the spring security user class, right? That package is what? Nothing but what? Org dot spring framework dot what is that? Security. Spring security, right? It's like this object need what? This object, this user object, right? Spring security user object need what? Username, username, username. After then what is that? Password, and its need what is that? Set of what is that? Granted authority. Set of what? Granted authority. Set of what? Granted authority, right? What is the granted authority? Then what we need to do? We need to map. We need to map what is that? Username is what? Username we will take as what? You mail. I forget to write user mail here, right? Just assume that here user mail is there. After then we will map what is that? Password. After then what is that? This granted authority we need to map what is that? With the role, right? Come on, clear this one, friends. Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. So
Yes, Ravi.
after voice is breaking. 1 minute, network issue. Yeah. So now thing
Yeah,
is
your
fine.
voice is
My voice is breaking.
no, your voice is clear.
No,
Not
clear.
yours.
Okay. So now fine. Here what? Then what we need to do? We need to 1 minute. I'll change it because here live session is there. Later the people also watching, right? So username, and here what? Email. Email. Yeah. Email, right? Based on that, what we will do it now? User mail, right? User mail will become what is that? Username, and this password will become here what? Password, right? So now fine. Here user mail we will map with what is that? Mail. After then what? Password we will map with what is that?
User.
PWD, and the granted authority we will map with what is that? Roles, right? For the details sake these things will be there. This name is there, is stored in the database for the details sake only, right? Details sake only. So now After then what, after then if these things is perfect, if this area, if we are able to develop perfectly, then what next will come? Next, same as usual, right? Same as usual, like how we are doing in the JDBC, as well as what, in memory authentication, right? In memory authentication. So here normal flow, right? Normal flow is what, whenever our end user will click, by clicking that, by taking what is that username and password, whenever end user will click, it will go to what is that user details service, and you in the user details service what, in the user details service what, load user by username will call. After then what, it will hit the database, and from the database it will take what is that model user, right? Model user data, it will convert in the this data in the object format. After converting that from here to but our Spring Security don't know what is that this user data. It's no our own user, right? Our own user. Then what we need to do, we need to take what is that user mail password and granted authority, and we need to give these things to what, user object, which is there in the Spring Security, right? After converting this one, what we need to do, what we need to do, we need to do what is that. We need to give these details to whom, these details to whom, web security configurer adapter object, right? This information we need to give whom, web security configurer adapter, right? Adapter object. So we need to give these things to whom, web security configurer adapter. Web security web security configure adapter, adapter object, right? So here what we will do it now, after taking this object, what will happen now here, after taking this object here, what will happen now? First we need to, first we need to what, first we need to read user object. First we need to read what is that user object, from what is that, this user object will be what is that, our Spring framework, right? Org Spring framework security, Spring Security, right? User detail, we will read what is that, from the Spring Security user object, we will read these details, right? After next what we will do it now, after next what we will do it now, here we will validate what is that username and what is that password and what is that, which is given, what given at what is that UI, right? Which one we will give now, this user, whatever you password and username we will put, and we will click it, right? Those things will validate, we will validate in what is that web security configurer adapter, right? Web security configurer adapter. After then what we will do it now, if username and password is not matching, right, means invalid. If invalid invalid invalid, if yeah, if username and password, right, if user are, what we can say, yeah, user and what is that pwd is invalid, right? What is that, invalid, invalid, then what is that, go to go to what is that, default default, what is that, default or
Again, login page.
success, right? Default or success page, right? Success page, if successfully is if successfully login, right, then whatever common page we will specify in our application, that page will come. If again login, then the same page, right, valid credential. With the valid credential, what we will do it now, we will give the message, right, like just assume that here what is that conditional waste, right, means what, here we will give what is that home page. Just assume that home page, this is what home page, this is home page, right. if if validation, right, if success means condition will become what is that true, condition will become what is that true, means what is that, here we are validating valid, if valid, right, valid user, if valid user, right, if valid user, then what is that, go to home page. if this user is not valid, right, here to this condition we will check in the web security configurer adapter only, right. So now if the user is not valid, if user is not valid, right, if user is not valid, then what is that, again go to what, login page. Login page means what, in which condition, if the condition is false, if condition is false, right, if condition is false, if condition is succeed, right, if condition is valid means username and password, then we will go to home page. If not, then again what we will do it now, again we will redirect to what, our
Login.
Login.
login page, right,
Login.
Login.
login page.
User login. Default register.
Yeah, so even here what we will do it now, even in this web security configurer adapter, what next fourth step, what we will do it now, validate what it validate even what is that, even roles also, right, roles also. After then what, after then we will specify what is that login functionality, log out functionality. After then we will implement what is that, specify,
Logout
yeah,
functionality.
specify form login, login page, and what is that, log out page, log out, and what is that, exception things, exception handling, exception handling. These things we will do inside that what, web security configurer adapter. After then what, next step what we will do it now, friends, next step what we will do it now, here also, here for the encryption and to performing decryption, right, decryption, what we will do it now, we will use what is that, password encoder, password encoder, right. Password encoder is nothing but what, friends, interface now, its implementation class is what is that, bcrypt, b bcrypt spelling is correct na, bcrypt password,
Yes.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
password encoder, bcrypt password encoder, this is nothing but what is that, class, right, this is nothing but what, class. Okay, good, we will use this one, and between these two things what is that, is a relation is there. Yeah, so this is our what is that, full diagram of what, our what is that, user details service, service authentication, right, user details authentication service is nothing but what, we are going to perform using what is that, ORM framework. So now everyone is ready to implement these things now, friends.
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi.
Yes.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so now let's enter in the coding part. So first what we will do it now, guys, first what, let's implement what is that, bcrypt password encoder, and some changes I will do in the code, right, whatever yesterday I wrote the code, in that code some changes I'm gonna to do it now. So shall we do it now, friends?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So just normally what I'm going to do now, just normally I'm going to run one more time this application, and we will see the flow of what? We will see that what? Flow of what? Our application first, because whoever joined yesterday session, that those also will sync in our session, and whoever already joined, for those people, they already know that, right? So because of that, I'm running this application one more time, and I'm showing that what is that execution flow of the application, right? So our application is running now. Yeah. So now come here, just I'm refreshing. There is a no data in both table now, friends. Come on. There is a no data, right? There is a no role, and there is a no data, right? Come on. Hmm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm opening the
It's good.
Chrome browser, right? Now open the Chrome. Here, what is that? HTTP. HTTP, what was the
9090.
okay 9090 and
Register.
sorry, register. Yeah, good, good.
Register. Register.
Yeah, good. Now then what is that? We are getting this page. Oh, oh, got it.
Your
I
uncommented security
yeah, security.
status.
Yeah, security. I uncommented, na. So no issue. Again, we will call. Okay, 1 minute. I'll uncomment it that one. Sorry, comment it, right? First, I'll comment that one. Yeah, I'm refreshing. Login, register, right?
Rerun.
I think we need to rerun only. Yeah. Dev I took, right? So I thought that okay, no issue. We need to rerun only.
Stop server, Ravi. Stop server and
I will upgrade the project. Because all the packages are showing very much.
Still, why the problem is there? Okay, updation is going on. Right click. Yeah, gone. Now rerun the application. Come here, refresh it. Yeah, we are getting this page now. Come on.
Yes.
So here what I'm doing now, I'm taking the name as a Sandeep s.gmail.com and password something I'm taking test only. Let's take test, and what is that? I'm giving the roles as a what is that? Admin and a manager. I'm clicking the register button. What is that? One user is saved now, right? Now come here, refresh
Yes.
this one. See, one data came right in the database now, and two roles we selected, admin and a manager, and both things is came here, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Ravi.
But our what we are going to do now, just see this table, user table. In that, what is the test password is scheme like that only. Just assume that it if the password is like that, if the just unfortunately if our application is hacked, so every credential the hacker will know that na password, what is the
Yes,
password
yes.
and all. So for what we need to
Yes,
do, we need to encrypt this password. First, what we need to do? First, we need to encrypt the password, and then the password store in the database, right? Database. So for that, what we will do it now, friends? We need to write one configuration class, right? We need to write what? One configuration class. Then we need to convert, right? We need to convert there in the that object into encrypted format. Then we need to store, right? So how we can do it now? How we can do it? How we can do these things now? Let's do it, right? So now what I'm going to do now? First, let's stop the application. Let's stop the application. Okay. So next to, if I like, if I'm writing like this, 1 minute, I'm thinking how I can present front of few people, then the people get things easily. Yeah. So here what we will do it now, friends? We will take one, what is that, configuration class, right? Right click, new, and take what is that, one class. Here what I'm taking now, config, and here what I'm taking now, let's take name as a, what is that, let's take name as what is that, app config. App config. So now fine. Okay, if we want to make this class as a configuration class, what annotation we will apply now, friends?
At the rate of configuration.
Yeah, at the
Configuration.
rate configuration. Yeah.
Configuration.
At the rate configuration, right? After then what we will do it now, here we will create the object of what, bcrypt, right? Bcrypt encoder. So public bcrypt, it will not come. You know why it will not come? I'll tell. We need to enable the security, then these things will come.
Security. Ravi. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, after enabling this security concept, if we are doing that, then the things will come. Bcrypt, see, bcrypt password encoder, pwd encoder. Now fine, return new bcrypt password encoder, right? Okay, fine. After creating that, what we will do it now, how we can make this one, how our container will create the object of this object now, friends?
At
We
the
need,
rate automated.
why we will do that in the configuration, right? At the rate bean, forgot,
At the rate.
Yeah,
Yes,
so at the rate being
number of
redefined.
method equal to number of bean, we will apply number of bean class equal to number of method. And how we can give instruction of what to create the bean, like create the object of this bean class, we need to apply that the red bean. People are remember or forget.
Yeah, remember Ravi.
Yeah, so okay, now fine. After creating that object, then what changes we will do it now? We will go inside that. 1 minute, I'm closing all those things. I don't want to create confusion, right? So we will open the service class, right? We will open the service class, right? Here what we will do it now, sorry, interface, implementation class we need to open, impl. This logics for the saving data, right? For the saving process, we know we wrote this method na, come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we will do it now, here we will make as a auto wired about what is that, bcrypt. We will take as a, what is that, private bcrypt, what is that, encoder. encoder, right? Encoder. But how we can use it here? We need to make at the rate auto warn.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the bean class we
Yeah.
will make this one as what, auto add. Now after making this auto add, first here we need to do some changes. What we will do the changes now? First what we need to do? First we will get the user what is the user password, right? So how we will get it now? Because this user object in the user object, how we will get it now? User, 1 minute. User dot what is that? Get
Get
what is that? User password, right?
It's a password.
Get
Yes,
user
Ravi.
password, right? After getting that, people are
Yes,
catching
Ravi.
my point. I'm opening the model
Yes.
class. Wait, here what I
Yes.
Let us
use?
get.
Setter getter, right? Setter getter. But I
Yes.
want what is that? This I want whatever data is setting in this one, right? I need that data. So how we can do it now? User, we here argument is user only, right? So if we want to take user dot get username, sorry, you password, right? After then what is that? Which kind of password will come? Which kind of sorry, yeah, user password. Yeah, password will be the string only na here. Come on, friends.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Ravi.
Yeah,
Yes, Ravi.
Encoded.
yeah, no, still this is not there in the
Still, it will
encoded.
be a string.
Yeah,
Okay.
so here what is that? We will take as a what? User pwd. Means what is that? We are getting that here what? Whatever user, sorry, whatever password is coming from the browser, we are holding in this variable now here, right? In this variable we are holding that.
Yes.
Means what? We are reading that what is that password in our service class,
It's a
right?
password. Yeah.
Yes,
after
yes.
then after then what we will do it now? After then we will take the help of what? Encoder dot what is that? Encode method is there. Encode method, right? In this one what we will do it now, friends? In this one what we will?
Password.
This pwd,
PW pass PW.
we will pass this what is the
PWD modified.
pwd. Here we will pass that what is that? pwd, right? After then this method will return what? This method will return what is that? Encoded format. What is that? This string will
Encoded
become,
format.
yeah, it will become come in the encoded format, right? Encoded format. After encoding that what we will do it now, friends? After encoding that what we will
It will.
again after
We will
encoded
update
in
it.
after encoded value what we will do it now? This encoded value
So,
again we will
set
reassign
to
assign in this string only. We will assign in this string. Means what? Previously here what is that? Actual string password will be there. Now here it will become what is that? Encoded format. After then what I'm
Encoded.
reassigning? I'm this one is
Okay.
reassigning pwd, right? Assignment operation I'm doing, friends. Okay, assignment operation means what is that? Here actual data is there. After then after holding that same data, right? What I'm doing now? I'm putting in the encoded format, and after encoding that, this encoder is returning what is that? Encoded string. Come on.
Yes, sir.
yes.
We're just
Yeah.
storing the encoded format now.
Yeah, so after then what? After then this encoded data, what we will do it now? This encoded data we will take again the reference of what? This user. Now
User dot set.
user
user.
dot what is that? Again what we will do it now? Set
Set user password.
Set
set
user PW.
yeah, set user pwd, and in that we will pass that password. And what is that? After setting that, then we will return what is that? A repo dot save dot end user. Means what? First we are taking the actual value, after then we are converting, then again we are setting that, and then what? We are fetching the data from that. Come on, people are getting my point.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Ravi.
Getting.
Yeah, so now here what we did? We encoded, right? We encoded our what? Now if we perform the operation, friends, then the data will store in the encoded format, right? Then the data will store in the encoded format, but we enable the security. Again we will face the problem. Let's implement what? Let's implement these things, right? Let's implement these things later. We will think about this area, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. So now what we will do it now, in that this is the interface now friends, come on, this is the interface now, come on.
Yes.
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah, so what we will do it now, we have already this, what is that, user implementation class. In that we can implement here, right? We can implement or not multiple interface we can implement in our class or not. Java is supporting
Yeah, we
multiple,
can implement.
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right?
Java.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we will do it friends, what we will do it now, we will extend, right, sorry, implement, what is that, user details service, right?
Yes, Ravi.
User details service interface, right? User
That's right.
details service interface. It's having what, one abstract method, sorry, abstract method. What is the abstract method now friends? What is the abstract? Load user by user, right? Come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes.
Load user by user.
Yeah, so here what we will do it now, Alt Shift S plus V, and
Yes.
we will
Over,
override that method, right?
over,
We will override that method. Okay, fine. It's asking what is that, username as a, what is that, argument, right? This method is asking what is that, username as a what is that, this
argument.
argument,
Argument.
right? Now what I explained here now friends, so here what is that, whatever username we will give, right? Based on that one, what will happen now, it will fetch the model data, right? It will fetch the model data, and from the model data we need to convert in the user in this spring framework user object na. Come on, this one explanation I given na, come on.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi.
Yeah, so now see this, after then what will happen now, we are getting this method, right? In this method let's perform the functionality, means nothing but what we will do it now, we will write the logic. So how the logic will be now, friends? So first what we will do it now, first we need to convert this, right? First we need to convert this object, means nothing but this data in the object format na, come on.
Yeah, Ravi.
Yes.
We have to
After then what we need to do now, we need to find, what is that, we need to find this email ID, because the argument is asking what, this email ID, right? Come on.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Ravi.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes,
Okay,
Ravi.
so first what we will do it now, before doing that, some changes we will do in the repository also. So what I'm going to do now, I'm opening the repository. In this repository, what we will do it now friends, we will write one, what is that, one method, right? One, what is that method, what is that, find by what is that, user mail, right? User mail, and argument will be what is that, string what is that,
Username.
username, right? Username, and this method will return what, of, okay, this method will return what, user object, right? Come on, this method will return what is that, user object, come on.
User object.
In
Yes,
that
Ravi.
That's
find
true.
by, anybody remember that our data JPA concept friends? In the data JPA, how we are writing that, means what this line will do, what line this line will do, means this line will perform what is that, select star from, select
Yes,
star from
not.
user
Where you?
underscore tab, right?
Yes.
Users
Yes.
underscore tab, and it will perform what
Where,
is that,
Or
where
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 you
where
union
name is
equal
equal to
union
yeah,
equal to
User.
where user.
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 yeah, internally this method will perform this operation, that's it. This much changes we need, okay? After then we will come inside that again, the our what is that, user service impl class friends, okay? So the problem is here, what we will do it now, one core Java concept I'm explaining friends, right? If just assume that, if we have what is that, one class, right? One class, like a class is there, right? and this class is there in the package of what is that, com.rk.a, right? And one more class we have, com.rk.b, right? And the class name must, the class name also same only, right? The class name also same now only. And what we are doing now, we are going to use what is that, both object in our what is that, our object, right? Our object is nothing but in our class. So how we can just assume that this is the test class is there, right? We have what is the test class, just assume that
Yes.
test class. So if we want to use what is that, just what is that, a equal to new a, right? Like this we are creating the object now, friends, come on.
Yes, Ravi.
Yes,
means
yes.
Yes, Ravi.
means
Yes,
what I'm doing now, I'm accessing this object, right? This class object. But in this test class only I need to access this object also, right? So again if we take what is that, a equal to new a, means what is that, then the things will not work, friends, right? Then the things will not work, come on.
Compiler,
Yeah,
yeah, we
compiler
will
will
compiler
confuse,
confuse.
will
right? So what we will do it now,
Yes, yes.
we need to take what is that,
with the package name.
yeah, we can take as a com dot rk dot what is that, b, uh, we can take like this,
Yes, yes. With the package name, we can
yeah,
call both the
We
classes.
have
a
give
equal,
something.
Yeah,
a
fully
equal
qualified.
to new a, right? How we can, or we can import one class, right? Like what is that, import com dot rk dot a, one we can implement import, and another we can do like this, right? Other we can do like what is that, like what is that, com dot rk dot a, right? Sorry, b, like this, like this we can use it na, come on, like this we can use na, come on, friends.
Yes,
Yes,
Ravi. We can use.
So
We
the
can write
Yes,
it.
same,
yes, yes.
things, guys, okay, same things here also, observe the here also same thing only, right? What we did now, here our own model class name also user only, and what is that, is spring also given, that class also name is what is that, user only, right?
yes,
Yes.
Right?
Yes, Ravi.
So
yes, Ravi.
one can be import, and one can take as a fully qualified name na, come on.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
Ravi.
can take company.
So
Yes, yes.
now, so what we will do it now, same things here also we will do it, guys, okay? So what I'm going to, here we took already users, okay, already users are there, right? So let's take fully, because if the take fully qualified name of a spring framework, then package will become, shall I take this one? Because multiple places I took, okay, this one is not correct to take, because we used multiple places na. See this, here also, here also, here also. So we, yeah, so we need to take multiple places, what is that, multiple places fully qualified name, okay? Let's use this one only. So how we can do it now? So first what we will do it now, friends, first what is that, we will take the reference of what is that, our repository, repo dot what is that, what method we wrote now, find, right? Find by
Find the
user,
user
find by
and by user my
find by user
user
mail,
main.
right? And what we will do it now,
Yeah.
this username we will pass here, right? So based
Yeah.
on that, right, whenever we will click on this one, right, whenever we will click on this button, right, so what will happen now, this method will call, and directly whenever we will call this method, right, whatever user will be there, right, just assume that this username we are putting, right? So what will happen now, based on this one, that method will call from the repository, and based on that user only, what we are doing now, we are fetching this detail, right? Come on, friends, we are fetching
Yes,
Right,
that,
right,
Ravi.
right.
and we are
Yes,
We are
converting it.
Ravi.
fetching the
After getting this result, what we need to do now, we need to